Yes, sir. All right, let's get into it. Welcome to another edition of Fake Football Analysts. As you see, it's playoff season when I come back with the Patriots jersey. So, I'm excited, man. We finally got through Week 18. Um, it was a crazy one as always. But I'm glad to be here with my guy, Aaron. How you doing tonight, man?
I wish I was like the other teams when they fired their head coaches because my GM is still on the team, and I feel like we're gonna be the New York Browns. It's just a theory.
Yeah, it's possible. Make sure as you listen to this, you follow us on TikTok, follow us on Twitter, as you see at the bottom of the screen. Also on YouTube. So hit that like button, subscribe, and follow Fake Football Analysts on YouTube. So let's get right into it, man. There's a lot to talk about. So uh Black Monday, it seeped into Tuesday, right? We've had now 7 firings in out the 32. So the most notable just happening probably about an hour before we got on the air. Um John Harbaugh out of there in Baltimore. So just thoughts on that, and just thoughts on the other coach firings that we've had so far.
Apparently the Ravens watch our show because we talked about it as the
Mhm.
Clean Your Desk Bowl. So the fact that he lost,
Right.
got fired. So I guess we're getting there now. Now we just need to get sponsored by the Ravens. But no, I expected it, or we expected it, really, because he's won. I mean, obviously he's won one Super Bowl, cool. But it's like, what have you done for me lately? They went to the AFC Champ last year, lost to Pat Mahomes. They either get to the first or second round, they lose. They're either above 500 by like a game or two, or they're under 500. I think it was just time. I mean, I'm thinking Cliff Kingsbury to Baltimore since he parted ways with the Commanders because he's seeing an opportunity, and I think that might be the opportunity. Lamar Jackson, Zay Flowers, Derrick Henry, his little RPO system. He's a better version than Kyler Murray. He can actually see above the line. I mean, I think that'll work. But I thought the Raheem Morris one was interesting. I figured give him one more year because he was over. I think he had a winning record. Well, not a winning record. It was 8-9, but
Yeah.
if it was 17 weeks, he would have had a winning record or whatever. So I thought that one was interesting that they entirely cleaned house. He is going to be a good defensive coordinator somewhere, so that's interesting. But I really think the hottest job, and it's going to sound weird, but Vegas, just because of the cap space they have. I think they have almost like 100 million cap space.
Hmm.
So with the right coach, I think that can actually make them better, and they're in Vegas. But I mean, that's the best one I can think of, unless there's another one out there.
Well, speaking of the guy we just spoke about, if I'm if I'm Vegas, I say Harbaugh, come on, come to Vegas.
Really?
Yeah, he's easily the best coach on the market right now. Obviously there might be some more that happens, later on in the postseason. But if if you believe that he can get the job done, or at least bring your team back to prominence, once again, John Harbaugh was not a proven guy when Baltimore hired him in 2008, and they go to the AFC Championship game right away with him. They come into New England the next year and beat us 33-14 in Brady's return. Um, Go to back-to-back AFC Championship games, go on and win it in 2012 against his brother in the brother Super Bowl. Um, so there's many good moments. I just think that his message and just what they were trying to build there fell on deaf ears, and the window closed. Um, you have a chance because he's not super. It's not like he's 67, years old. And John Harbaugh, like he's still on the good side of 70. So I think that he has a chance to go over there, and just to give them some type of stability. They hadn't had that there in Vegas or Oakland or LA, wherever they want to be called.
I mean, they're paying 6 coaches that
yeah.
aren't even on the team anymore. So it's
Yeah,
like
listen, we talked about it last week, man. That is the best job in all of sports. You're firing me, and I'm still getting $8-9 million a year. Please, please, please send me home with my family. Please, please send
it's
me.
it's almost like they're learning from Monty Williams in NBA. Signed that big
Yeah,
deal with Detroit, couldn't get it done in what was like 1 year, and have to pay him all that much money. It's like, oh, all right, I'll just go sit
but
at home, make like 20
think
mil.
about that though. Which I mean, I know we are focused on football now, but damn, he got almost 80 mil from them, right? They're killing it with JB Bickerstaff, killing it. And Monty Williams was a decent coach. It wasn't like he was, some type of scrub, but man, to be that bad with some of the guys that he had there wasn't like, it was a complete overhaul. Some of those guys he had when he was there, they just didn't pan out. And yeah, JB Bickerstaff, who got a raw deal in Cleveland, is now the man in Detroit.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love it for them. But yeah, to me, Harbaugh seems to be right now seems to be the answer.
So you didn't say no to the Cliff Kingsbury to Baltimore.
Well, no, I want to get back to that because we talked a little bit about that off the air. Come on, man, come on.
What?
You don't believe that for real though. To replace John once again to replace John Harbaugh with Cliff Kingsbury. Come on, man. Come on.
We've seen crazier in the NFL, so.
Hey. If you told me Cleveland, I'd have been like, all right, okay, I can see that. There's no way that you replace John Harbaugh with Cliff Kingsbury. No way. No way. No way. If you told me he was coming over as OC, I'd be like, all right, cool, because he's done well as OC. But come on, man. Like there's no way. Steve Bisciotti needs to get taken to the Baltimore Harbor if he does that.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's wild to me. You don't replace a guy that's been there for that long. For a guy that's okay with guys having cell phones and taking selfies in the locker room.
You know what? Then I think Tennessee then would probably be a better option because Cam Ward, the way that he runs, throws, it's almost like a Shannon Dawson offense down in Miami, where I think that could work for Cliff Kingsbury and Cam Ward, and it's like you're rebuilding everything pretty much down there. So that might actually be a more realistic spot. But let me ask you this though. We've talked about him before, Raheem Morris. Obviously got cut by the Falcons. Does he go anywhere as a head coach with all these openings, or does he find a defensive coordinator job with like a new coach?
I'm pretty sure he won't get a head coaching job, not right away. Anyways, I think he'll be a DC somewhere.
Maybe. You know what I could see? I could see Brian Flores taking Arizona and bringing Raheem Morris with him.
I'd rather see him in Cleveland.
Right, you want Brian Flores in Cleveland?
Both of them.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Arizona has not had a decent coach since
Bruce Arians.
Yeah, I was about to go back to Ken Winston, but yeah, I forgot about Bruce Arians.
Oh yeah, you could say Ken Winston too. Like
they both got to. Well, they didn't both get Super Bowl. Forgot. Sorry, they lost. They lost in the championship game, but it's just like unless you're getting that type of play from the quarterback, where you have guys have a resurgent season. They seem to be a place where quarterbacks that weren't great or were no longer great come there and then just go ballistic. We've seen him with Crow Warner, we've seen him across the Palmer, and to a way lesser degree, we've seen him with Jacoby Brissett this year.
Yeah.
He was amazing for them. Once again, they it did not result in wins, but the numbers he was putting up on a weekly basis probably got him some fantasy wins for people because he was on a different level. He was crazy. Was it 20 touchdowns, 8 picks? Like I was like, but the problem is we don't get. I said this before, but we don't get Will Campbell if he had that type of year last year because they would have went 7-10, and it just wouldn't have worked out in that regard. We don't get Will Campbell, so yeah. So they're probably in the area of getting like someone like Matthew Gold or something like that, which wouldn't have been bad. But it was clear they needed offensive line help, and that's helped propel their season. So yeah. But any other words on the coaches pool, growing? Anybody else in this postseason that you think could be on the clean your desk, segment if they don't go far or at least win the game?
I think Matt LaFleur.
Okay.
I think that one, if they lose to Chicago, I think it's because of what we talked about last week with that Packers just look like they just kind of sailed it in. They mailed it in. They were like, we're going to the playoffs. Like, let's not. I just feel like he's not losing the locker room, but just didn't look like from the beginning of the season to now, they don't look like the same Packers teams. So I think if he doesn't have a good postseason run, I think he could clean his desk. And anybody out there in the market would love to be with the Packers job. And I think it's not a clean your desk, but I think he might leave depending on the playoffs. Chris Shula and Clint Kubiak. I think no matter what happens, they're gone.
Right.
No matter what.
I do think and we'll get into it. Well, actually, I'll save it for that. So let's get into the game. So starting on Saturday, first game, we got the 5th seed Rams going into Carolina as the 4th seed, hosting a home game, home playoff game in maybe 10 years, maybe.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Just about. So since they went to the Super Bowl, so who do you got?
I don't know, man. Panthers gave Stafford was it 2 or 3 picks the last time they played him.
Mm-hmm.
So this might be an interesting game. I may have to go with the Rams though.
Yeah, well, say it.
I want to say keep pounding, but I don't think they're gonna do it. I don't think they're gonna do it. They look kind of slop against the Buccaneers last week.
Yeah, for my narrative, it'd be great if Carolina won, but they're not. This should be a 1-2-3, even though it's the playoffs. This should be a 1-2-3.
Matt Stafford has too much playoff experience to lose to Bryce Young.
You can't lose. Yeah, you can't lose to Bryce Young, Matt Stafford. You can't. And listen, it'd be for how all the people have come out, and pun intended, pounding their chest about Matt Stafford. And it's funny, right? Because let me say this, right? And it's a mini rant. It's welcome to the Matt Stafford bandwagon, y'all. So a lot of y'all was like, he's a decent cornerback. He did okay in Detroit because he had Calvin Johnson and Golden Tate and Brandon Pettigrew and Titus Young and okay.
Titus.
Now y'all see him with Cooper Kupp and Tyler Higbee and obviously Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams now and Kyrie Williams, and you see them in the national spotlight, and man, that is a problem. Been telling y'all he was a problem.
I didn't think he's gonna have this kind of year. Just because, yeah. I didn't think just because of his back in the beginning of the season. I thought that was going to affect him a lot this year, but I guess
I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure it did at some point. I'm sure it did. He's going to be 38 this season, so but let's like I said, once again, welcome to the Matthew Stafford bandwagon. I've been your president or vice president for a long time. And now y'all seeing how good. Like I said, he's phenomenal. Once again, you people online have made me go against him in this moment because you're acting like the talent around him is, was trash, and we have to stop doing that because that's not the case. Not the case. Not the case. Once they had 14 touchdowns, y'all. Puka Nakua, in most cases, would have been a triple crown candidate. Cut it out. Cut it out. Cut it out. Like, once again, we know that Matt Stafford is elevated talent around him for sure. He's been doing that for years. There's guys that have had career seasons under him. Career years. Not like a slight bump, not a slight increase. They've had career years. Career. Like, I couldn't imagine if he had played with someone like CJ Hawkinson. My God. To go with who we had on the outside. What? And like I said, to me, he's already top 10 and top 15 all time. The numbers are there. He's Hall of Famer. Yeah. So let's be real. I just had to put that out there because it's just like, y'all are acting like, it's a new thing that's there. But like I said, Panthers, thanks for coming. But you can start the plane to Cancun shortly after. About 9:00 was Sunday night. You could go to the cookout down in Charlotte. Get you some ribs, some mac and cheese, some greens, and a flop, which is what they call a half down there. Get you a flop, maybe get you two, just to get a little more sugar in your system. See you later. You're done. You're done after Saturday afternoon. Just saying. So now to the Saturday night game. We got the Monsters of the Midway hosting, the Lambeau Field Green Bay Packers. So who you got here?
I got the Bears. No Aaron Rodgers, no problem in the play. Caleb Williams though, like that. I think from the beginning of the season, everyone was kind of like, "Wow, this is not going to work out." Between Caleb and Ben Johnson, and now from I would say from week 9 on, as they have gone like a total 360. It doesn't matter who they're throwing to because it used to be Roma Dunze for the most part, or you have like a DJ Moore game, and then you have a Colston Loveland game, you have a DeAndre Swift game, and I think they put everything together. Yeah, I think because of what the Packers are, they have no Micah Parsons. Jordan Love's just looking like he's just there in the moment. Like I think the Bears can win at home.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say it now. I got Chicago at least going to the NFC Championship game.
Are we booking that there, Skip Bayless?
I'm gonna.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
I think that team is that good. I've been saying it. I told Dave. Dave had to come around because Dave has PTSD from all the years that they just didn't perform, and I get it. This team is good. Team's for real, and it's one of those things where I say I believe they get to the NFC Championship game, but it's like I can also see them losing Saturday night. I could.
It is a division game. Anything can happen.
Yeah, I just don't know. I just think that you don't know what you're going to get from Jekyll and Hyde, aka Jordan Love. And I was pounding my chest about how good he was coming into the season, and he's been mediocre at best this season.
Everybody was though, because he's 27 years old. Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers led him to Super Bowls at 27. It's Jordan Love's time.
Yeah,
we saw him beat the crap out of the Commanders, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, this Packers team."
Well, that's the thing, though. It's either so with Jordan Love, he's either going to go 21 or 29 for 340 and 4 touchdowns, or it's going to be 17 or 25 for 220, a touchdown and 3 picks. Like just no in between,
no medium,
between. So no happy medium there. So they better hope they get the 17 or 25 for 220, because if he's reeling like that, then they are going home Saturday night. But I think that it's a special season. It's a special team in Chicago. Ben Johnson's been awesome, and I think there's more to come from that. So I got Chicago winning in that one.
Yeah.
Now to the Sunday games. So the 1:00 game, we have Buffalo going into Duval. So I'll start with that. I think Sean McDermott's final game is on Sunday in Buffalo, anyways.
Yeah.
I think that Jacksonville finds a way to get it done, and as a result, they'll say, "Hey, it's been real, Sean. Appreciate you. Happy trails."
I think Joe Brady goes to Cincinnati.
Okay.
Hooks up with Burrow, Jamar Chase to LSU. I don't think he's getting a head coach job. Like people are thinking that he is. I think Mike Kafka's going to get it before him. That's here nor there. But I agree. I was actually going to pick Jacksonville as well because this almost looks too much like, what was it, 2018-ish? The last time Buffalo and the Jags went up against each other. So I think as Jameis Winston would say, Duval. I think that they got the dub.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, if that's the case, that means that they'd be coming here for the AFC Championship game.
That we know of.
Yeah, that we know of, right? That we know of, yeah. Because that's how that panned out, and that was it's a pretty good game until the fourth quarter. So
yeah,
yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah, but yeah, Jacksonville gets it done. Now to the 4:30 game. San Francisco goes into Philly. So who you got?
Is it weird to say I have bang bang Niner gang? Not just because I'm an NFC East bias, but the Eagles I feel like are getting sloppy wins.
Yeah,
and they don't look the same. Like Saquon's turned it up a little bit, but this offensive play calling is just terrible for this Eagles team.
I need one of those jerseys though.
Which one? The Kelly Greens?
No. The one they wore against Seattle.
Oh yeah, those black ones with the red and gold. Yeah, those are nice.
Listen, I was like, my brother's a Niners fan. I said, hey man. I said, I'm not a fan. I said, but woof. I had a Niners jersey. Huh?
Why don't you get me that Chris Borland jersey?
I was like, I haven't had a Niners jersey since CO. Like,
yeesh, I figured you would have got at least a Patrick Willis. No, honestly.
No, because I mean that's by the time I met you, I wasn't wearing jerseys as much. But yeah, Patrick, that is someone I would have gotten, or a Navarro Bowman, or Vernon Davis. So there was a few guys on it at that time I would have, but I wasn't rocking too many jerseys by then. But yeah, no, I do think they come into Philly, and get it done. Like I said, it's okay for it to be a down year. It happens. We still got to the playoffs, but what Kyle Shanahan has been able to do, this year, it's been awesome to say the least. So, kudos to them, and I think their journey continues after Sunday.
Yeah, I don't think this Eagles team's gonna turn on the Jets.
Yeah,
as Mike Brown would say.
By the way, that's still one of my favorite episodes that we did. That was a good one.
That was a good one.
Oh, such a good soundbite. All right, next. Oof.
I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3 Pats. I don't really think Chargers have a chance.
Stop! Don't do that.
You trust Justin Herbert in the playoffs? No, I don't trust Justin Herbert in the playoffs.
Well, we don't know what Drake May's gonna be yet, so.
Oh wow! I'm trying to help you guys, and you're telling me to stop.
No, I'm saying start with a 1, 2, 3. You could say New England's going to win.
Wow! You don't want to go 1, 2, 3. You don't have that much faith.
No, it's not about having much faith. It's just I'm not. And this is what any opponent like. The only time and granted they ended up losing that year, but no, there's only 2 years I felt that way. That I was like, it don't matter who's around. That was obviously 2007. and then the year that we lost to Philly, right? Because we just beat Atlanta the year before. I was like, it don't matter. It don't matter who's in the playoffs. Like it's going to be a scrimmage. And that's how I felt. And obviously, play Malcolm Butler, some other stuff, and then they end up losing. So yeah, I'm never going to assume, but yeah, this would be a really good start to the new era if they're able to get it done against the LA Chargers, and I hope that they're able to get it done, and I believe they're going to get it done on Saturday. I mean on Sunday night. We've been waiting for this type of game for a long time. Once again, 2021, we was on the road against Buffalo, and the game was over, so they got off the bus. Like it was over. Josh Allen had his way, and rightfully so. And that was a hard watch, to say the least. So that should not be the case come Sunday night. I think that there's a reason why the Chargers historically have not done well, regardless of where we played them. I've seen a lot of videos this week of the 06 year where, and like I said, I'm not here to dog Sean Merriman. You know that I've seen the show. I did a show with him, met him. He's awesome. Latavius Thomason, I still think that he was soft for that comment about you come to our field and you dance on our field. You were dancing all over defenses in 2006 because you're the MVP and you went home. Get over it.
Facts.
Get over it. Doing your little football toss and stat padding that last final week to get your 30 touchdowns. Get out of here. How dare you? How dare you get upset about someone doing the lights out dance? If anything, it was paying respect because he knew he was that guy because he was. Yes, sir. What's up? Yes, sir. Go. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Don't hype him up like that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? hey, well, now you see it. Make sure you follow, baby. Like, don't forget to subscribe, baby. Follow the Football Analyst right on YouTube. So, but yeah, man. Listen, it's been a hell of a season. Obviously, going 14-3. First 1,000-yard receiver since Edelman in 2019. And yeah, once again, Vrabel ended the dynasty. Now it's time to start a new one. Yeah, let's go. I'm excited for Sunday night. Can't wait. And where's the bar Scott? Can't wait, baby. Can't wait. So all right, now to the Monday night game.
So weird they did this. I don't know why. So dumb.
I mean, to me, it was either they was going to play Saturday or they was going to play Monday. I didn't think they was going to keep them on the prime time for Sunday. In my opinion. True. So, but who you got?
I'm taking D'Amico Ryans' defense.
Yeah,
from the Texans. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to just get pummeled by Will Anderson. Will Anderson is hungry and he is coming. And if it's not him, it's going to be Danielle Hunter on the other side.
Right. It's funny because I watched a local pundit here in Boston. Name is Michael Hurley. Works for MSU Sports Boston. I thought this was a wild take, but I wanted to bring it up to you. He says, I don't know if Pittsburgh scores an offensive touchdown on Monday night. What are your thoughts on that? He said they look slow. He said they look methodical. He was like all-time great quarterback, but just don't see how they score an offensive touchdown on Monday night. And I said, wow. I said, when I heard that, I said, I got to bring it up. See what you thought about that.
I think they'll score offensive touchdowns. I just don't think it's going to be a lot, if that makes sense. Like, I think they're going to do a lot of like dump screens or check downs to like Kenneth Gainwell or Jaylen Warren, stuff like that. Like, I mean, they do get DK Metcalf back, but he was suspended for 2 games. So it's like, you lose a little bit of speed because you haven't had any games in 2 weeks. Like, if DK Metcalf is good to go, like 100%, I think they'll score like 14 points. offensively.
Yeah, I can see Houston winning like 24-14.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, so something like that. So, but that's that. But we'll see. We'll see how it how it unfolds. But let's get into final thoughts.
My final thoughts are if I'm Joe Shane, can you not mess it up for the Giants? Like, I know we're gonna be the New York Browns. It's gonna happen with Kevin Stefanski, but like, please get the coaching job right. Go after Clint Kubiak. Do something to get it going. Make sure you like, subscribe, download, follow us on YouTube. Hit the little bell; it goes ding, because over the weekend, I might be doing some post game for each games that are going on. I'll probably do it later on at night, but I'll throw it out there when the time comes. So Saturday night, Sunday night, I'll probably be doing some post game stuff with another content creator, just because Hollywood Ray, he thinks he's so cool and he's all Hollywood on the weekends. So, but as always,
I'm in the building for games. That's why.
I know, so selfish, but black people matter.
Yes, sir. I mean, my final thoughts go to New England. We have been waiting for someone to arise since the end of the Brady era. Now, thankfully, it wasn't a 20-year wait period to find out who was going to be this good. You have the guy, and it's a new day. Yes, it is. It's time for Jake Maier to stamp himself into Patriots history. He's that good. This team is that good. And it's time to back it up come Sunday. I firmly believe the best is still yet to come. You got the cap space. You got good draft capital. This could be the start of something new and something special. So take one day at a time, one game at a time, one possession at a time, and you'll be right where you need to be. So, but let's effing go. But as always, Black Lives Matter, not just when it's convenient for you. So he's Aaron Cass. I'm Hubbard Rashawn Buchanan. Until next time, we'll see you.